Good morning, boys and girls. Today is Monday morning, and it's the beginning of our new week. We have lots of fun things we're going to learn about this week called Garden Friends. So we're going to learn about insects that help our gardens grow. Did you know that bugs could help our gardens grow? Well, we're going to learn about that. But first, we're going to finish our story about Paul and how he was the first missionary. Remember, at first, he did not like the people who believed and followed Jesus. And he was on his way to Jerusalem, actually, to persecute. That was a big word. That means to bring harm to them, to hurt them, and arrest and put people in jail that believed in Jesus. And on his way there, remember, he saw a bright, bright light shining from heaven and a voice he heard that said, "Why are you against me?" And when he said, "Who are you?" the voice said, "I am Jesus, the one you are against." And Paul couldn't see after he heard those words. And he went into Damascus where he met Ananias. And Ananias was a man who loved God, a prophet of God. And he touched Saul's eyes, and then he could see. And God changed his name from Saul to Paul. And Paul became a new person who loved and followed Jesus. And one of the things that he did was become a missionary. A missionary means someone who tells other people about Jesus. Do you know you could be a missionary in your own neighborhood, in your own family? You could tell people about Jesus. Well, Paul was somebody who traveled to other countries, to other places, to tell people about Jesus who had never heard about him. Paul traveled far and wide. He taught everyone he met about Jesus. The new believers were called Christians because they followed Jesus Christ. Paul traveled with different helpers, and he shared the good news with everybody. He even baptized many people. During Paul's travels, he started many churches. And remember, we said a church isn't just the building that we go to. The church is a group of people who come together to learn and praise and worship God and Jesus. Well, Paul told people about Jesus, and those new believers gathered together and were a new church. Sometimes he walked for miles and miles to get to a new place, but sometimes he took a boat that went across seas and rivers. And look, all these arrows, I don't know if you can see them very good, but those show all the places that Paul went and told people about Jesus. Well, we're going to find out that there were some people that didn't like that, and they put Paul in prison. And we're going to find out what happened to Paul and his helper Silas when they were in prison. So right now, let's start our morning with our prayer. Dear Jesus, thank you for this day. Thank you for all the boys and girls and their families. And I just pray that you would keep us all safe and healthy, and that we would do our best as we learn lots of new things today. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, let's look at our calendar. And I have to tell you something. Mrs. Marvel tried to do this and video my talk for today by myself, and it didn't work. So now I'm doing it again, and Mr. Marvel is helping me. So I had already colored in my day today, but let's count again and see if you can help me figure out what day it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Today is 27. And what number does the 20 family start with? A 2. A 2 and a 7 is 27. And I already colored mine blue, so you can color in your day, whatever color you've been using. And then we're going to come back over here. And let's see what day it is first. Sunday, Monday. So can we put our star on Monday for today? Sunday, Monday. It's the first day of our new school week. And it is still April. But look, there's only 3 more days. And then we're going to have a brand new month, the month of May. January, February, March, April, May. And it's almost time for May. Well, I'm going to take down our calendar for right now because we are going to look at some new letter for today. So if you can have Mommy help you get your yellow folder. And in there for today, I want you to get out your letter V. There'll be a big letter and a little letter V. We're going to do both of those today. So if you can get those, and then you're also going to need your fingerprint, Garden Friend fingerprint book. So if you can find that, and then Mommy's, if you can look in the review graduation folder, it's a blue folder, you will find a packet of books. These are little books. I was looking to see if I have my whole packet here. Well, I want you to tear off the first one called Dad. Can you tear off the first book? Because we're going to read that today. We're also going to talk about garden friends. Garden friends. And some of these garden friends, honestly, I think it's a little creepy. I don't really like worms. Some of you guys pick up worms and you think that they're okay. I think they're a little bit creepy. But they do help us. So if you could go find your Play-Doh that I gave you, if you still have it, get just a little piece of it and we're going to roll it between our hands. Roll, roll. So it looks like a worm, a long inchworm or earthworm. And do you know what? Worms do not have eyes or ears. They can feel vibration in the ground. They can feel the ground shake a little bit. Well, this little worm, he liked to crawl. This is Willie the worm. And he could feel some vibration on the ground. And he said, I think there's a storm coming. I think I can feel the thunder shaking the ground a little bit. And I can feel the rain. Oh, he said, it's going to be a rainy day, and I'm going to go for a water ride. When he would dig into the ground, here he is on top of the ground, but when he would dig tunnels under the ground, those tunnels would fill up with water when the rain came down, and sometimes Willie would get washed through the tunnels, just like he was on a water slide. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And sometimes it would even wash him out on top of the ground. Do you know after it rains is a good time to find worms, sometimes laying on the sidewalk, sometimes on top of the ground? Worms are also good for fishing, aren't they? Little fish like to eat worms. Well, Willie got washed out of his tunnel, but then he quickly went back into his home. Because worms get hot and dry if they stay on the ground, and they like to be under the dirt. Well, do you know when they make those tunnels, do you know how it helps your garden? Because it breaks up the dirt, and when it rains, it helps the rain to come under the dirt where the roots of your plants are. And if you put fertilizer and stuff to help your garden grow, It lets it sink under the ground. So earthworms are good for your garden because they help make tunnels and break up the dirt under your vegetables. Well, we're going to learn a little bit more about an earthworm in just a minute. But first, let's see what letter comes after U. Good morning, Max. Good to see you. Let's see what letter came after the letter U. Are you ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. V is our new letter today. And V stands for vegetables, like our vegetable garden. Can you make your fingers go like this and make a V? Just hold your two fingers up and spread them apart. It makes a V. Now if you go and look for your letter V paper, you're going to see a vulture. A vulture is a big kind of bird. This is Vin the vulture. Dr. Vin the vet wears a velvet vest. He operates and gives out pills and does his very best. Do you remember what a vet is? A vet is a short word for veterinarian, and a veterinarian is a doctor who takes care of animals. So Vinnie Vulture is a veterinarian or a vet, and he does his very best. If you look at the letter V, we start at the top. Can you take your finger and walk on top of the big letter with me? Start where Sophie Squirrel is. Down, bounce up. Down to a point and bounce back up. Down, bounce up. Down, bounce up. Can you trace over the V's of Vinnie Vulture? Then we're going to go ahead and do our little V today too, because we want to be able to finish up all of our letters before the end of the year. The little V looks just like the big one, doesn't it? And they both say, can you put your teeth on your bottom lip? And then you're going to kind of blow air and it tickles your lip. Vinnie Vulture is a vet. Can you feel that tickle on your lip? Well, there's a vest, a van, and a violin. So I want you to make some little V's and color your vest, van, and violin. And when I saw your pictures last time, I thought you did a lot better job on your coloring. I was very proud of you, and I could tell you were taking your time. So if your hand starts getting tired, then take a break, because I want you to do your best and not just scribble on your pictures. So those are your V pictures that we're going to do today. So we're going to put up our new letter over here, V, and we have a violin and a vase. Can you feel the tickle on your lip? I think V is a letter that makes your lip tickle. And we're going to talk about the color brown in just a little bit, because earthworms are brown. You can see it here. Mrs. Marvel made one out of my orange Play-Doh because I didn't have brown. But earthworms are usually brown. Well, we're going to do something really special today. I want you to see if you remember the sounds that we were going to make with our vowels. Are you ready? A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. I know my vowels, so do you. Now let's say the short sound. A, I, I, a, a, I, a, a, I, a. I know my vowels, so do you. Well, once we know those sounds, we can begin putting them together. Remember, even we talked in our numbers, our math, about taking apart, subtraction, and putting together, adding. Well, we're going to put together some sounds and some letters. So can you tell me, what letter is this? It's over here. A, the very first letter of the alphabet. And what does it say? A, as an apple. What letter is this? That's a D. What does D say? D, as a dog. These two letters together make a word family. That word family is add. Add. Can you say that with me? Add. And right now, I would like your mommies or daddy or a big brother or sister, somebody to help you with this, because I want them to listen to you say these sounds and see if you can sound out these words. So I'm going to write some more word family here. One more down here. Okay, let's read these word family. This word family. Ready? Add, 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 add. Now, guess what? We're going to add another letter in the front, and you are going to read a word. I am so excited, and I'm so sad that I'm not there with you to watch you read your first book and your first words, because it's so exciting to learn to read. First, what is this letter? That is a B. What does B say? B. Add. Add. Bad. That's the word. Bad. Good job. How about this one? What is this letter? A D. We said D says D. Add. Can you read that word? Sound it out. Kind of put those sounds together. Add. Dad. Dad. Good job. How about this one? Do you remember what that letter is? Oh, L. Add. Lad. Good job. How about here's another one. What does M say? Put your lips together. Add. Add. Mad. I hope you're sounding these out. And here's one more. S says S. Blow air through your teeth. Add. Sad. Sad. Let's see if we can read these words in our add word family. Are you ready? Bad. Dad. Lad. Mad. Sad. I hope you're sounding out those words and being able to read that. Well, I want you to go and get your book paper that looks like this. It has a picture of a dad on it. And we're going to fold it in half. Maybe Mommy can help you. So it looks like a book. The name of our book, we just sounded out this word up here. This is a big D. Dad. The name of our book is Dad. So what do you think that tells you? This is a story about a dad. And this dad looks like maybe he's getting ready to go to work. He has a briefcase and he's dressed up like maybe he's getting ready to go and work in an office. Well, let's open our book. And at the bottom of the first page, let's read that word. Dad. This dad looks like he might be getting ready to go play ball with his little boy. Look over here. Let's read this word. Dad. And this dad looks like he might be going fishing with his little boy. And they're whistling while they're walking and going fishing. Turn to the last page. And let's read the word at the bottom. Dad. What is this dad doing? He looks like he's in the rain with his little girl, and he has an umbrella over them. Maybe he's walking her to school. So this is the story about a dad. And I want to see if you can read that to your dad. So today, I want you to try to read your little book and sound out some words and do your letter V. Then, can you get, this is a fun one, your Garden Friends fingerprint book. And it says bye, and there's a line here. Can you write your name there? And you can color the front of your book, or you could paint it if you want, or decorate it how you want. But we're going to open it up to the very first page. And Mrs. Marvel, yours isn't going to have any worms on it, but Mrs. Marvel already did this once, remember? So that's why mine already has little worms on it. But if you can go and find your watercolor paints, I know you have those because I sent them home with you, and get a little bit of water and put it on your color brown. Mrs. Marvel doesn't have brown watercolor paint, so I'm just using some brown paint I have. And if Mommy has that, you could use that too. But I know your brown watercolor paints will work. So you're going to dip your fingerprint in the brown. I'm going to make another worm over here. And you're going to just put your fingerprints. So you just get brown paint on your finger. And look, I'm going to make this worm curve up here. So you can put a bunch of earthworms in the tunnels. And then you can just leave it open to dry, and we're going to do some other pictures later. Well, I want you to remember earthworms help us in our gardens. Remember? The earthworms help us in our garden by breaking up the ground and letting the rain soak in and water all of our vegetables in our garden. I want you to read your story about Dad and do your letter V. So I will see you on Wednesday, boys and girls, and we'll have some more fun learning about some more garden friends. Goodbye.